see the market change from this to this based on the interest rates going up?
I don't. I mean, my parents bought their first house at 18% interest. You know, they needed to buy a house when they needed to buy a house. Did they complain about 18%? Yeah, absolutely. They weren't happy about it. But the bottom line is, you know, they had to buy a house, and there's a percentage of people every year who have to buy and have to sell. I mean, there's people who get job transfers. There's people who have more kids and they need places to put them, and you know they have to move. It's not a choice. It's more of there's a driving force behind it. And so because of that and because of how much housing we have available, I don't think you're going to see much of a change there. It might be a slight change, but we're going into the hottest part of the year anyway right now.
Right.
You may not see this change until, you know, October, November, December. And last year we didn't see it didn't fluctuate hardly at all, October, November, December for 2021. So, and
the interest rate was still good then, though.
Yeah, it was still low. It's still
What, 3% was it?
Yeah.
Still, right?
Not still, no.
Yeah, I think you're up around 5.5 right
Oh,
now.
I'm talking about like still like back then.
And will people complain about it? Yeah, that's horrible, right? I mean, it's going to be the topic of conversation. Oh my gosh, the interest rate, it's like gas right now. You know, gas is stupid expensive. But you know what? I got to get to work every day. And so do I complain when I go put the gas pump in my truck? Yeah, I complain about it. But the bottom line is I still put my credit card in. I still charge for the gas, and it still happens. So it'll be a bit of a struggle. It will price a few people out. There'll be a percentage of people that can no
I've
longer
already
buy.
had one or two clients say they want to back off for a while.
Yeah, and my advice
happens.
there is don't back off, because it isn't going to get any better.
I know.
The government's not going to lower the interest rate. I mean, it's how they're going to control inflation, attempt to control inflation, I should say. So they're not going to lower the interest rate anytime soon, and the housing supply is not going to go down anytime soon, or up. Excuse me,
down because it's behind.
Up again. I meant up. Sorry, my bad there. It's not going to go up. So the two things that would cause buying a home, that would cause you to be able to buy a home at a lower monthly payment and feel better about it, they're not going to happen. I mean, you're never supposed to say you have a crystal ball, and I don't have one, but interest rates aren't going down, and the number of houses on the market are not going to go up. So those two factors, it's just a basic idea of supply and demand. There's tons of demand, and there just isn't enough supply.
Yeah.
Here's why I think people get into this market, though. Like
Okay.
why agents choose to get into real estate right now. I think the pandemic has driven a lot of that, meaning that we were put in a position where people no longer want to go back to work. When I say don't want to go back to work, they don't want to go back to an office where they have to be clocked in at 8, clocked out at 5. The pandemic kind of caused this sense of freedom in a sense. I know we were locked down, but in a sense it was like, man, I don't have to be somewhere at a certain time, kind of run and control my own life. And the real estate business affords you that. It gives you the ability to come and go as you need to.
I think another factor to that is how high the home prices are.
Yeah, they're seeing how much commission they can make off of a deal.
Possibly, yeah.
If they can get a deal. Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge, right? There's a lot of optimists out there that are 100% sure they can kill it in this business. Most people
Takes a
don't
little
know
bit more
what it
than
takes
that,
to be
though.
in
I
this
think
business.
most
more.
people don't realize how much work happens behind the scenes.
There's so much work behind the scenes.
I mean, this is literally more than an 8-hour-a-day job if you want to be successful.
Yeah, it for sure is in the beginning. Like when you're getting in, if you're not willing to work 60 hours a week and work 60 hours, not just be available to people 60 hours. I mean, there's work to be done. And if you're not willing to do 60 hours a week in the beginning, it will be a struggle. Unless you have some, I mean, there's anomalies out there with people who have certain streams of leads or certain streams of, I've got a investor coming in from out of the country and he wants to buy 100 homes. Okay, well, if you've got that situation and you get tied into that, then it may be a little easier to be successful. But I will tell you that your investor's money is going to run out, and you'll have to figure out how to go do it again another way. And so that's part of the work, is learning all the different ways that you can generate leads and get deals done and find clients that need to buy or sell. So, but I think the pandemic is driving people here because I call them gig workers, right? I mean, everyone's like, what's a gig worker? Like, what do you mean by that? Like a gig worker is somebody who kind of sets their own schedule. They have a skill. maybe a tile layer, let's say a tile layer, right?
Independent contractor.
Yeah, they know how to lay tile, and they put themselves out there to 13 or 14 tile companies in town and say, hey, I can lay tile. I'll be a gig worker. Just pay me per job. You don't have to have me on your payroll. I'll pay my own taxes. Just I'm a gig worker. Well, real estate's a little bit like that, right? I mean, we're kind of gig workers. We work when we want to. We don't work when we don't want to. Unfortunately,
we are all
most
independent
people.
contractors. We are our own business.
Yeah,
Even though
absolutely.
we go to a brokerage.
Yeah,
We're
you-
not getting a paycheck.
Absolutely. There's no paychecks at the brokerage. It's only when you close. Commission only.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people are going that direction because they can have a little more control over their life, their time, basically. That's why I think people are getting in.
No, I completely agree with that. I think a lot, because I did have a lot of inquiries in the past year about joining the business. They asked me about my opinion, and I said, yeah, it's a great avenue for me. And I told them, the goods and bads about it. And then they eventually made a decision either not to or to do so. But I had maybe 2 or 3 friends that actually got their license.
Yeah, it's a great business to be in. There's no question about it. I think the hard part for most people is they got to be able to separate, work from not work. I mean, this is the example I always use with people is, when you have a 8 to 5, and you got to clock in at 8 and be there until 5. When do you go to the gym?
Either before or after.
Either before or after, right? Well, when someone becomes a real estate agent and they're an independent contractor, they control their own time. When do they go to the gym? Between 10 and 12. Right?
I
When
used
they
to go
should
at
be
11.
working.
I used to go at 11.
Yeah, I mean that's when you should be working. That's
Yeah.
when you work is those times. So that's one of the biggest challenges with real estate is people. You get 2 things in real estate. You can make a bunch of money, or you can have a bunch of free time.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't have both of those. And most people pick the free time over the making the money part, and that's going to be some of the challenges. The other thing to note probably here is that we know that the attrition rate in real estate is well over 80%. So everyone who gets a license this year, 80% of them won't renew it next year.
What do they tell you when you're doing your orientation? You look left and you look right. One of them won't be here.
Yeah, one of them for sure won't be here, and probably both of them won't be here if you're still here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
because the attrition's huge. It's expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's difficult to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So-
So in the beginning, you typically are working a part-time job to pay your bills.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was doing. I was definitely working hotels for the first year.
I wish I'd had that luxury when I got in. When I got in, I was just in,
Yeah.
and I had to make money like right now, or I had because I had responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Are you saying I didn't have responsibility? I'm just kidding.
No, I'm saying I had responsibilities.
Okay.
I didn't say anything about you.
I'm just
This is about me,
What,
not
you feeling
you.
guilty?
no. I just like to give you guys crap. Like that's what
So
we do
why,
here.
what's
That's
a
what we do
reason
here.
why somebody wouldn't get in? Like, why wouldn't you get into this business? Like your question was, why would people be getting in? But why wouldn't they? Why not?
Well, if they don't feel they can sell, maybe
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
in them to be a salesperson.
I'm not a salesperson. I'm
But
a
I think
I'm a
salesperson-
relationship manager.
Yeah, relationship. Yeah, it's a relationship-based business, I believe. Right? It's a
I
people
could talk
business.
about those
Some people,
relationships.
what introverts? A lot of introverts. I
No,
feel like.
just-
I'm an introvert.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. He is.
I'm an introvert. I'm not a salesperson.
You know how long it took me to talk to this guy?
There's a lot of personality factors in this business,
Mm-hmm.
and you can be successful with any one of those as long as you're willing to do what it takes to be successful. I mean, I had to do some things I didn't ever think I would do in my life to be successful in this business, but like I said, I didn't have a choice.
And the other thing is, like, don't let any of what you're insecure about stop you, because at one of the other brokerages I worked with Berkshire Hathaway, there's this guy.
Don't name the brokerage.
I'm sorry.
Good Lord.
He's new to the
Beep,
business.
bleep that out. Bleep that out.
Bleep
Anyways,
that out.
when I was at that brokerage, this guy was very insecure about his accent, but he was phenomenal at helping people. But very, like I said, very insecure about it, and he always thought hey, maybe in the beginning, he was not going to be able to make it in this business because of his accent. But this guy just did not care. Was just, as far as the work ethic goes, he wanted to make sure that his client was 100% taken care of, and despite the language barrier, sometimes he pushed through. And like I was saying, like, just don't let that insecurity stop you from doing anything. And that he's very much more confident now. And I think he uses it as a tool. You know, a lot of Spanish speakers are very much more drawn to him because of it.
So now he's a Spanish accent.
Well, that's where he.
Yeah. So let me say this: if you want to be successful in real estate in your first year, get coaching. You've got to have some kind of coaching.
Something.
Whether it's you join a team or whether it's you actually get a coach that you can meet with once a week and talk about your business, you need some type of mentorship, some type of apprenticeship program, some kind of coaching, because I watched so many people in my first year walk around the office all day long with this deer in the headlight looks, had no idea what to do, what to say, how to say it, when to say it, where to go, who to call. And it didn't end well for them.
Bro, I was that example. I legit was that example. I was too prideful about doing any of that my first year.
Yeah.
Too prideful. I didn't even know how to write a contract.
A coach will get you through that
Yeah.
pretty quick.
Yeah, that
right?
was
Because there's
quick.
some certain things that we'll teach you to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I think we got to wrap this up. We're a little over time.
Yeah. He already finished his cake. He's on ready for round 2.
Exactly.
I got to go get some cake. Then.